First and foremost, I want to give all honors, praises, glory belongs to my Lord and Savior. His name is Yahweh. By Sham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Wahab, Kwadash. Honors to the apostles that have in the Holy Spirit, and to the hopeful elect across the globe, and to the few brothers and sisters that are listening and also learning in hopes of being saved within these last days. Because you know we're living in the last days of the last days, right? We're going to get straight into it. Make sure you're staying focused. Keep the main thing the main thing. You already know what time it is. You already know what people, should we say, are we going to say people are demons? Yep. Things are changing now. People are turning more evil. We know that. Guess how we repay? By doing good. You got to continue doing what's right in the eyes of Yahweh Shai. That's the only way you're going to overcome evil, by doing what's right. So we're going to go straight to it. Check this out. We're going to go to Psalms 92 and 1. It is good to give thanks to the Lord Yahweh Shai. Let's continue giving thanks, praises and thanks to Yahweh Shai that we've been given another day to be able to minister to the elect. We got to give him thanks, right? The Lord could have had us real messed up, right? Real messed up. He could have had you messed up. He could have had you being a gang stalker. You know, you got to be grateful out here, man. And sing praises to your name, O Most High, to declare your loving kindness in the morning and your faithfulness every night. So he's declaring that faithfulness every single night. He declares his faithfulness unto his saints. And it says, on an instrument of 10 strings, which is what? The harp, on a lute, and on a harp, with a harmonious sound. For you, O Lord Yahweh Shai, have made me glad through your work. It is beautiful. Now the sun's coming out now. You've made me glad through your work. I will triumph in the works of your hands, O Lord Yahweh Shai. How great are your works. Listen, giving glory. Guess what annoys Satan the most? When you give glory, when you praise Yahweh Shai, that, excuse my language, that pisses him off. So we got to glorify Yahweh Shai, man. Right? Regardless of what you see around you. And the scriptures do say, for while we look at the things which are seen, but the things which are not seen. For the things which are not seen, they're the things we're supposed to be focusing upon. Not the things that are seen. Not distractions. Right? We're living in a very, 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 very serious time now. And there, guess what there is? There is people that are trying to push agendas, not just agendas. They're trying to create, what's the word? A false perception of you to other people. Now, that's not going to work if you're continually doing what the Lord Yahweh tells you to do. That's not going to work. But if you stop doing that, then the perception that's put out, then it will fit. But as long as you're in the work of the Lord Yahweh, they can't do nothing. They can't touch you, man. As long as we're obedient to Yahweh Shai and his calling. Right? So this is very important, brothers. And it says, your thoughts are very deep. A senseless man does not know, nor does a fool understand this. So you're going to have, unfortunately, you're going to have senseless and foolish people that are not really going to understand the ways of and the workings of Yahweh Shai. Okay? When the wicked spring up as like grass, listen carefully. Spring it up. When all the workers of iniquity flourish, it feels like it. It feels like the wicked are flourishing in this kingdom. When the workers of iniquity flourish, so the workers of iniquity, they're everywhere. It feels like that, right? It is that they may be destroyed forever. Why? Because the Lord's word is true. Once he says something, he don't go back on his word. It's true. It's faithful. So that's why, brothers, maintain your integrity, the bit of integrity you do have, that the world has lost, and you continue on that right path. And if Yahweh Shai be for us, who can be against us? Right? Who can be against us? Right? You're out here, you're bringing light to a dark, dark world. That's why them dark forces are coming out. And these dark forces are working within institutions and certain government programs. You're bringing down that. Well, Yahushua is bringing down the darkness. So we got to continue, man. And it says, but you, O Lord Yahushua, are on high forevermore. He's on high. Remember that. He sits on high. And it says, forevermore. For behold, your enemies, O Lord Yahushua. For behold, your enemies. So even the Lord has enemies. And in Matthew it says, those that don't want me to reign over them, bring them forth and I will slay them. So there's a lot of enemies of the Lord out here. A lot. And you're going to find that out. Your enemies shall perish. They're going to perish. All the workers of iniquity shall be scattered. Woo. They're going to be scattered from place to place. Right? These words are true. These words are faithful. We don't go outside of this. We just stay in the scriptures. Verse 10. But my horn you have exalted, like a wild ox. I have been anointed with fresh oil. Who was anointed with that fresh oil? King David. Okay? Son was king, but his predecessor was King David. Because King David was a man after the Most High's heart. Okay? My eye also shall see my desire upon my enemies. Because if you're serving the Lord and he's got enemies, that means you have enemies. See, people want to make enemies with us. Little do they know they're making enemies with Yahushua. Little do they know. My ears shall hear my desire on the wicked who rise up against me. So we're also, some of you brothers, right, you've heard about certain things happening to certain people that were coming up against you. Your ears are going to hear it. Oh no, is that what happened? Oh no. I'm sorry to hear that. But things are happening. Things are happening. People are sending demonic spirits. You got networks out here, literally. You got satanic networks out here that are trying to send you spirits. And what do you think's happening to them when you're in prayer? Things are happening. Family members dropping dead, all types of sicknesses, all types of things. Some of these people are being put into the medical institutions and all brothers. I just want to know this: when you're in the truth in Yahushua, things are happening. But they're not going to tell you that. Cult members dropping dead as well, all types of arguments. All this is happening. The righteous shall flourish like a palm tree. Let's continue to flourish like a palm tree. It spreads out. He shall grow like a cedar in Lebanon. Those who are planted in the house of the Lord Yahushua shall flourish. So if we're planted, we're rooted, that means we're going to flourish in what? Wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Which is going to lead us also to a kingdom. Because wisdom does lead you to a kingdom. Right? In the courts of our God, they shall still bear fruit in old age. In other words, get children in old age. They shall be fresh and flourishing. To declare that the Lord Yahushua is upright. He is my rock and there is no unrighteousness in him. So you knowing that Yahushua is upright, that means any wickedness, any lies, it's not going to hold any weight. As long as you maintain the uprightness. That's all that matters. Excuse me just a minute. Don't want to be spitting on camera. So check this out. He's my rock and there is no unrighteousness in him. So the Lord is our rock that was supposed to be built upon. And speaking of rock, let's go to Matthew's. Come on. We got Matthew 7. Come on. So we got Matthew's also. And remember, it tells you about that rock. What are we built upon? The rock. The rock is Yahushua. And you're gonna get certain people that walk past. I just want to put you up on game. A lot of these people that walk past, they're groups, like school groups, community groups. Apparently, yeah, the guy ain't gonna walk past now. But a lot of people grow. But whatever's in darkness is going to be brought to light. Whatever it is, whatever they're trying to project on us, that's not going to work as well. Everything's being brought to the light. Let's continue. Matthew 7. And check this out. 24. Therefore, whoever hears these sayings of mine and does them, I will liken him to a wise man. So we can't just be hearers, we got to be action orientated. We got to do, right? I will liken him to a wise man who built his house upon a rock. Why? Because he's applying. And a rock is a strong foundation. Right now, I'm standing on a rock. Right now. Don't worry about the noise campaign. That's how Satan's kingdom works. Hold on, so let me show you. Oh, yeah. That's just a part of Satan's kingdom, bro. Don't worry about that. And it says, Matthew 7, Romans 25, and the rain descended and the floods came, and the winds blew and beat upon that house. So, what's the house? We are the house. So, when the winds blow, which is a form of tribulation and storm, what is a storm? It would be people, right? Entities, storms, tribulations, things that go wrong. Check this out. It did not fall, for it was founded upon a rock. It did not fall. Why? Because it's founded upon Yahweh Shai. That's why we have to be rooted, founded upon him. So whenever you have tribulations or anything comes your way, you're not moved from the gospel. You're not moved from it. Because you're on a rock, which is a foundation. A stone. Who's the stone? Yahweh Shai. The cornerstone, right? The chief cornerstone. It's so spiritual because I'm on the stone. This is stone, right? You should be built upon that stone. And not moved. This is why it's so important that it's all about Yahweh Shai. It's all about him. Doesn't matter what's being sent your way. If you're in Yahweh Shai, he's there. He's blocking that. He's keeping you firm. And it did not fall, for it was founded upon a rock. Verse 26. But everyone who hears these sayings of mine, so you hear the words that is being spoke, and do not do them, will be like a foolish man who built his house upon the sand. We don't want to be that foolish that built their house upon the sand. The sand is not a firm foundation, brothers. It's unstable. Have you ever built a sandcastle on the beach? Some water comes, what happens? It knocks it down slowly, right? Gradually, it just... So there's a lot of men building sandcastles. There's a lot of men building sandcastles. But them sandcastles, they don't last. And the rain and descended and the floods came. What's the floods? What's the rain? It's tribulations. And built upon that house and it fell. And great was it fall. So, that's why we want to be rooted, grounded in the word of Yahweh Shai, so you don't fall. Now, a righteous man falleth, but is he be able to? Why is he getting back up? Because the Yahweh Shai, the stone, the rock, he's built up on that. There's a foundation. There's a foundation, man. That's also in Corinthians and it's also in Peter's. Stay on the foundation. Like builders, there's a lot of construction workers. When you're building, guess what you have to do? You have to set. Oh, this windy. You have to set what? That cornerstone. What's a cornerstone? You build on top of it. You build to the left of it. You build to the right of it. That's how most of these buildings are built. You can't build a building, but it has no what do you call it? Level. First of all, the ground needs to be leveled. Then you have a cornerstone. And that's how you build up on that house. That's basic. Anyone will tell you that in construction. And that's how that house is built and is firm. So hold on, let's see what else we got. Right? Alright, the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Right? Okay? And you can feel it. It's so close. World War III. Alright, there's so many topics I want to touch upon. But it's like one topic at a time. Bear me just a minute. So we're going to go into that cornerstone. Let's see if we can find it, the cornerstone. Beautiful. Hold on. All right, this is similar to it. This is Ephesians 4. And we're going to jump straight to verse 15. But speaking the truth in love may grow up in him in all things. Into him, who is the head, mush up from the whole body, joining it together by every joint supplies. Even when you're building a building or a body, every joint is for the what? For a purpose. And it says, according to the effective working by which every part does a share, causes growth of the body for the edification of itself. It's not quite what I was looking for. But still, it's all a body fitly caused. Okay? So let's see what else we got. Philippians 2 and 12. Therefore, my beloved, as you have always obeyed, not as in my presence only. So why did it say not as in my presence only? When you're amongst the brothers, okay, that's easy to turn up. That's easy. It's when you're by yourself. Are you able to still keep that same energy when you're by yourself? When there's nobody else, when you think there's nobody else watching. Because just because a brother ain't watching you, doesn't mean the Lord Jehovah Shai is not watching you. You see? That's when it really matters. When nobody else is watching. That's when it matters. Because it's easy to turn up at camp at the weekend. Other brothers around. You're on fire, right? Act like you're on fire. But for the rest of the week, you're doing something completely different. The energy don't match. So how men come to camp on the weekends, then back to the week. It's like they never taught. That's why the scriptures in James, be a doer of the word, not just a hearer only, deceiving your own selves. Excuse me. Deceiving your own self. Don't want to be deceiving yourself. It's not this is not just a weekend thing. This has to be all the time. You got to be in this word all the time. They're gonna say they got a honey pot. They got a honey pot that's coming up now, Baba Kisha. You got to be in this word all the time. Not just Saturday, Sunday, as much as possible. You got to be like Yahabashai is right there next to you, watching you. That's the mentality you have to be in. Let's continue. Not as in my presence only, but much more in my absence. What does that mean, absence? So when you're not, where two or three are gathered, I am there. When you're not around brothers. That's when it really matters. That's when it really, really matters. And it says, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. Remember, this is an individual walk. It's individual. Nobody's going to hold your hand on that chariot. It's an individual walk for the elect. And the elect will receive it. Baba Kisha, you see they got the honey pots. Check out the honey pot. They got the women as well. They send the women, Baba Kisha. So work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. You got this one as well. This one's looking hella nut. This one's looking hella good, Baba Kisha. Baba Kisha, Baba sister, you got time for the Bible? Baba Kisha. Hello, Baba Kisha. Yeah, you got the honey pots out here as well. And she's looking all right still, Baba Kisha. But all that's temptation. All of that is temptation. Okay? So work at your salvation with what? Fear and trembling. Alright? And another thing I want to bring up. Hold on. Let me see if I got this picture quick. Fear and trembling, brothers. The mentality you got to be in is, you got to be like Yahabashai is there, right next to you, watching you. That's the mentality you got to be in. That's going to keep you in the fear, godly fear. Not just when men are watching you. That's not fear. Or that's the fear of man. Philippians 2 and what's it? 14. It is of God who works in you both to the will and to do his good pleasure. You see? To do his good pleasure. So whose pleasure are you doing? Now, yeah, it says give honors to the apostles, give double honors to the apostles. Yeah, but your apostles, even our apostles, Paul, Peter, Timothy, Andrew, they were not Yahweh Shai, were they? They were all there. Who were they teaching? They were teaching. See, this is what you got to realize. The apostles, they were not teaching. In order to, you have to be in this group to be saved. They were teaching Yahweh Shai. That's the main premise, Yahweh Shai. And salvation. And they were teaching and they were ministering the new covenant, which is based on better promises. Let's go. They were delivering souls from darkness. What do you think we're here to do? Right? Deliver souls from darkness. See what else we get? They were ministers of the New Testament. Let's see what we got, Baba Kishar. Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got. Love this 2 Corinthians 4 and 16. Therefore, we do not lose heart. Don't lose heart. Do not lose heart. Keep that courage, man. Be courageous. Come on. Even though our outward man is perishing, our outward man, the old man, Lord willing, is perishing day by day. If the outward man is perishing, you might not even see it. Other people see it. People telling you you've changed. That's good. That's good news. Oh, I've changed? Well, for the best. It should always be for the best. All right? So the outward man is perishing. You know them old ways. Some learn quicker than others. And it says, the outward man perishes. Yet the inward man is being renewed day by day. Woo! Day by day. You might not even see it. I know some of you are like, well, I don't see it. Some of you, the inward man is not being renewed day by day. But how are you going to know? Because the things you used to have a passion for, you no longer have a passion for those same things that you may have been into. That's how you know the inward man is being renewed day by day. So there is change happening. Even though you might not see it. You're supposed to see it. But there's changes in your character, how you're dealing with people, how you see the world. All these things are happening. Yahweh he's working a good work in us. And the things that are not so good, he's purging all those things away. All those things. The things that are not good within us. And it says, for our light affliction, which is but for a moment. Listen, it's only a light affliction. It's only a light affliction. This is light. Light. Which is but for a moment. It's only for a moment. It's not forever. What you think? You think the Lord Jesus is going to let Satan afflict you forever? He ain't going to let him afflict you forever. Only a light moment. A brief time. Is working for us a far more exceeding and eternal weight of glory. So, you know the afflictions, that's working within us. It says an eternal weight of glory. A measurement of glory is working in us, basically. So, bro, you got to look at things from the perspective of the scriptures, man. That's an eternal weight. Okay, that's how you got to look at it. While we do not look at the things which are seen. I know some of you, right? Gang stalking. While we do not look at the things which are seen. And what are the things that are seen? The things of the world. Try to put your eyes on Yahweh Shai. Keep your eye fixed on Yahweh Shai. That's where you want to keep your eyes fixed on Yahweh Shai. Read this again. Check this out. While we look at the things which are seen. This is heavy, bro. This puts your mind completely somewhere else. While we look at the things which are seen. What's seen here? The things of the world. That's why Yahweh said, don't love the world, neither the things in the world. Not looking at the things which are seen. The things which are seen are what? But the things which are seen are temporary. Ah, temporary. So in other words, they're not here forever. Okay? But the things which are not seen are eternal. That's what you got to fix your eyes on. You got to fix your eyes on the things that are eternal. The things that are forever. That's what you fix your eyes upon. Even with the gang stalking, you don't even want to put your eyes on that for too long. Because gang stalking is a means of getting you distracted and having you focusing on evil. Then you wonder why your life is overcome by evil. So it says, why we look at the things which are seen, but the things which are not seen. So what are the things that are not seen? Yahweh Shai, right? The kingdom of God. That's what you are supposed to fix our eyes upon. Because when you do that, guess what? The devil has to flee. Because he sees your eyes are on the kingdom. Right? You see all this madness. Look at this madness. It's madness. Brother Kishai, your eyes are focused on Yahweh Shai. It's not focused on what everybody's doing around you. Their job is to take your eyes off the prize. That's their job. Our job is to keep our eyes single on Yahweh Shai and the kingdom. This is how you're going to be able to elevate. This is how you're going to be able to grow. This is how you're going to be able to level up, which a lot of you have already leveled up. So we went to that now. See what else we get. Heavy, 2 Timothy 2. You therefore, my son, be strong in the grace that is in Mashiach. Stay strong. But what's strong for the grace that's in Yahweh Shai? Through our weaknesses, we become perfected by the strength of Yahweh Shai. So stay strong in that grace. A lot of people, they're not strong. You can have big muscles, big muscles, but mentally you're weak. And the things you have heard from me among many witnesses, commit these to faithful men. Commit this word that we've heard. We're supposed to commit it, come out here and give it to other men, listen, who will be able to teach others also. So we're not just out here for ourselves. You teach, and to other men that are able, willing to go out and also teach as well. You're kind of passing the baton. See? The thing is, you've got too many chief and not enough Indians. That's that saying, right? We're here to also raise up. If you're a leader, be a leader. And raise up other leaders. See, there's a thing of following. Yeah, before you become a leader, you have to be a follower. But I'm doing this so others can also be raised up as well and do the same thing. Who will be able to teach others also. You therefore must endure hardships. See? With this truth, there's hardships. It's not easy. You're going to go through a whole different load of trials. That's them hardships, man. As a good soldier of Yahweh Shai Mashiach. So the scriptures refer us to being soldiers. We're literally brothers. We're literally soldiers, man. But not in that way, like soldiers for Yahweh Shai. What does soldier mean? Soldier, it means to sold, to make hard. Look it up. To make hard. Have you got a soldering kit? You can buy soldering kits. What does it do? It turns to a liquid and it turns into metal. Because I've got one at home. A soldering kit. Soldier means also solitary. A lot of this time in this truth, you're going to be solitary. You're going to be alone. Right? And when you're alone, you have more time to think. So just know that. Right? No one engaged in warfare entangles himself with the affairs of this life. Ooh. I don't know any soldier that entangles himself with the things of this world. None. This is heavy. This is scriptures to get our minds in the right place. Let's read this again. No, a lot of you are thinking, hold on, this is in the Bible. Yeah, no one engaged in warfare. And I'm going to be careful with my words. This warfare is spiritual. We don't have no bulletproof, none of that, no machine, nothing like that. No one engaged in warfare entangles himself with the affairs of this world. What does entangle mean? Like a web. What does a web do? Gets you caught up. So we're not getting caught up and entangled with the web of this world. The web is a system. That he may please him who have enlisted him as a soldier. You've been enlisted. So a soldier don't just stay in their house all day. Oh, just stay in the house. A soldier, you're called out to different places. Soldiers, wherever he's located to, that's where they will go. As a soldier, also anyone competes in athletics. He's not crowned unless he competes according to the rules. The hard-working farmer must be first partaker of the crops. Consider that I say and may. The Lord shall give you understanding of all things. So we're going to have this understanding of these things. We have to have a good understanding of what you're involved in. Right? We've got to have an understanding of that, brothers. And a good understanding of that as well. What we're truly involved in. Okay? This ain't an easy thing, but the Lord, remember, cast your burden. I think it's what, Psalm 55:11, upon the Lord Yahushua, and he will sustain you. Right? Don't take on too much, don't take on nothing that you can't deal with as well. Because part of the war is also, Yahushua, remember, he's fighting for you. Also. But it does say in Jude 1 and 4, also fight the good fight of faith. So if you're fighting, guess what that means? You have an opponent. And guess who our opponent is? The devil, the adversary. So yeah, you have an opponent. And when it says in Ephesians 6 and 12, we're not wrestling against flesh and blood. In a wrestling match, what does the enemy try to do? The enemy is trying to pin you down. So what the enemy trying to do is pin you down so you will submit. That's what happens in the wrestling match, right? Wrestling is you're holding someone down, you're grappling them, and you're pinning them down so they submit. So the enemy wants you to submit to his will. But then in James, it says, James 4, submit yourself to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh by Sham Yahushai. Resist the devil, and he will flee. So now we're going to be more submitted to who? Yahushua and his word. Obedience is better than sacrifice. Because if we were obedient in the first place, you wouldn't need to do with them sacrifice. You wouldn't need to do with that stuff. So the main thing is obedience. Remaining obedient to the calling that you've been called to. That's all. And when you do that, Yahushua is going to give you more grace. It's going to give you more favor. Always remember that. Right? This is how he's able to give you favor in the eyes of your enemies, in the eyes of your adversaries. Great favor he's supposed to give you. That's why we got to be on point when it comes to these type of things. All right? And don't be diverted from the mission, from the purpose. I always say, Bob, you're doing a good thing. We're doing a good thing. Remember that, we're doing a good thing. It's just those forces, them dark demonic forces and networks. You need to pray against that as well. Make sure you pray, because certain brothers were also in living conditions where you may have a warlock, or not just one warlock, several warlocks around you. Right? And they're getting hacked into. Right? They're getting hacked into. So that's going to happen as well. You're going to have people that they're going to be hacked into to come up against you. Some of us did it with Narcissus, the Jezebel, the Delilah, the low-key spirit. But always revert back to the scriptures. This is where the answer is. The answer is right here. See what else we got. But the answer is right here. Everything we need, brothers, everything. And part is the part of the battle we know, the flesh. This flesh, guess what? Always against the spirit. This flesh is always against the spirit. The flesh always wants to do its own thing. But that submission comes from discipline as well. No, we can't just do what we want anymore. We have to be subjective to the spirit. then watch Yahushua starts working a good work within you. That's what he does. Starts working a good work, man, within you, man. See what else we got. It's some good stuff right here. So we got, hold on just a minute. 2 Timothy 4. I charge you therefore before the Heavenly Father and the Lord Yahushua Mashiach, who will judge the living and the dead at his appearing and his kingdom. Preach the words, be ready in season, out of season. It says preach the word. So what are we doing right now? Preaching the word. In season, out of season. Don't matter what season it is. Winter time, a lot of you brothers were not out there. But like, where this, bro, it wasn't really even that cold. Come on. And even if it was not too cold to where you would die of pneumonia. Preach the word in season and out of season. That's all seasons you're preaching. All seasons, man. Whether it's sleet, snow, rain, cold, summer. Because I'm sure when it's summer, and you also got men that are saying, listen, there's certain men, they're going to be found out. There's certain men that are going to be found out. You got men say, oh, it's too cold. Then when it's hot, oh, it's too hot. Come on. Come on, there's no excuses. At this part of time, there's no excuses. And why you can't teach his word. And it says, check this out. Baba Kushan. What else? Preach the word, be ready in season, out of season. Convince, rebuke. So we're also here to convince. Rebuke. Exhort. It says it. Convince, rebuke, and exhort. So we also got to be out here exhorting brothers as well. Right? With all long suffering and teaching. For the time will come when they will not endure sound doctrine. So there's a lot of men, they're not going to overcome that sound doctrine. Key thing. Sound doctrine, sound mind. Right? See what else we got? This is 1 Peter 4 and 7. But the end of all things is at hand. Therefore be serious. The end of all things is at hand. Everything. Therefore be serious about this truth. It doesn't say be lackadaisical. Just sit back. Just do what you want. Just put your feet up. Relax. It says, but be serious. Sun's coming out now. Beautiful, Baba Kusha. Needed some of that. Be serious. So we got to be serious in the ways of Yahushua. And watchful in your prayers. That's another thing, brothers. Are we praying enough? We'll be praying every day, every minute, every hour. You're supposed to be praying. Because I told you there is forces out here. Some real dark, demonic forces. And above all these things, have a fervent love for one another. For love will cover a multitude of sins. See? Be hospitable to one another. Without grumbling, in other words, without murmuring. Make sure you're being hospitable. Right? And mindful. As each one has received the gift, minister to one another as good stewards of the manifold grace of God. If anyone speaks, let him speak as the oracles. So when we speak this truth, make sure we're also the oracles is of the word. The oracles is the word. So you can't just be speaking your own words. Yeah, you have to be speaking the oracles of God. Remember what Yahweh said, I will put these words in thy mouth. These ain't your own words. I'm going to put these words in your mouth. And you're going to speak them. See, it's not our own words. As good stewards. See, we're supposed to be stewards. Servants. As good stewards of the manifold grace of the Heavenly Father. If anyone speaks, let him speak as the oracles of the Heavenly Father. If anyone ministers, let him do it as with the ability which the Heavenly Father supplies. Huh? But in all things, the Heavenly Father may be glorified through Yahushua Mashiach, to whom belong the glory and dominion forever and ever. Might as well jump to verse 12 as well. Beloved, do not think it strange concerning fiery trial, which is to try you. So also within this faith, guess what you're going to have? Real fiery trials. Hold on just a minute. You're going to have fiery trials, you know. Fiery. So it's not just a trial. There's fire that's added to it. Okay? Why does it say fiery trial? To burn away the things that are not so comely. That's why we get put in that fiery furnace. To get rid of the things that the Lord Yahushua sees within us that are not so good. Not just a trial, fiery. Fiery is it's a purging, man. There's still things with listen. There may be certain things that are within us that need purging, man. Sometimes we may have certain mannerisms that are not so good as well, which is to try you as though some strange thing happened to you. Oh, what happened? Last week that was weird. Think it not strange concerning the fiery trial. It's not strange because once you understand something, it no longer becomes strange. Which is to try you. You see that? It's a test. But rejoice to the extent that you partake of Mashiach's sufferings. You see this? That when his glory is revealed, you may be also glad with exceeding joy. So why? Because now you went through these things. What's that noise? Guy's got spirits on him. That's a man, by the way, screaming like that. Can you hear that? Can you hear that? Making bird. You got guys out here making bird noises. You literally got people making bird noises. That's the kingdom of darkness, man. These people, they're into dark stuff. Making throw noises. And we can cover on that as well, but let's stick onto this. Think you're not strange. Even that, you would probably think that's not strange. You got some grimy ass niggas in the court making bird noises. Basically. See, bro, don't find that strange. This is all a part of the warfare as well. They're probably ex-warlocks. And it says, blessed are you, for the spirit of glory and God rest upon you. On their part, he's blasphemed. But on your part, he's glorified. You see that? So, on their part, yeah, they're always gonna have something to say. But on our part, he's glorified. And I want to quickly go to Isaiah 8. Them noises that you just heard, Baba Kishore. Let's cover that now. This is Isaiah 8 and 19. And when they say to you, seek those who are mediums. There's a lot of mediums out here. There's a whole load of mediums out here. Satanists, mediums. What's a medium? A medium is someone that communicates with. People say the spirits of the dead, which that's rubbish because once the dead die, they know nothing. They're dead. But they communicate with. They channel spirits, right? A medium is someone that channels spirits. A medium is a witch. Your TV can be a medium, right? There's different forms of mediums. Okay? Medium is a witch. Your phone could be a form of medium. It's an open portal, right? So there's lots of mediums, and witchcraft is by using mediums. Okay? It's a communication. We're not supposed to be seeking no mediums. Why would you do that for? Why would you seek a medium for? You don't need to, because we have. Yahushua. So you don't need to go to a witch or a warlock for answers. But that's what most of our people are doing. So it says, Isaiah 8 and 19. And wizards. What's a wizard? A wizard is a male witch. That's what a wizard is. A male witch. So we don't need to go to no wizards who whisper and mutter. So that word for whisper and mutter is ventriloquist. So them noises that them individuals were making in the court, them bird noises, they're what you call familiar spirits, basically. A ventriloquist is someone that mutters. And guess what they use? Right? Guess what they use? Birds. They use birds and they use dogs. Dogs can be used for witchcraft. You hear that noise? That's so-called men making that noise, by the way. That's not a bird, by the way. That's called familiar spirit. So witchcraft is very rife. Very, very rife. And why is it called familiar? Familiar means obe. Obe. Familiar is a household spirit. Household. So when you think about familiar spirits, what do you think of? You think of someone close to you, a relative, a cousin, an uncle, father. That's what you think of. That's what comes to mind. So familiar spirits, guess what they work upon? They work on what you call spirits of your ancestors. Say if someone sold out, say if someone done a ritual, a satanic ritual, that was passed down that family line. And familiar spirits, guess what they want to do? Keep your whole family line in bondage. That's why brothers are blessed to be teaching. Because guess what? You break all that. And in the spirit and power, in the spirit and power of Yahweh by Sham Yahushai, we're breaking all them curses and familiar spirits. We are generational curse breakers. This is why your life has been so hard. Because remember, them familiar spirits, guess what they do? They bring patterns down the family line. And these patterns could be anything. Anything. Addiction, right? It's some form of sin. Remember, they work on patterns. Familiar, family. So them spirits, these witches and warlocks, guess what? They know your family. If your family done what's the word? If they done any rituals or anything, they know that. They know that. And their whole thing is to enslave you and keep that in the same pattern as those that were before you. That's their goal. That's why some of you are dealing with heavy level warlocks, witches, and so forth. Because they can't access your family. Of course they can. If your families are into Freemasonry or they're doing rituals, they have access to them. That's why the scripture says you have to be a new man. Once you're a new man, the old you, they know the old you, because the old you, it was familiar. But the new you, they don't know. So let's continue. Isaiah 8 and 19. Should they not seek the dead on behalf of the living? Should they seek the dead on behalf of the living? Why are you seeking the dead for? You know what that word dead means? So like, you know what hold on, seeking the dead, that's what's the word? There's a necromancy. So a lot of these people, they're in necromancy, man. Shouldn't be seeking the spirits of the dead. Partaking in necromancy and all them things there. Baba Kisha. That's what a lot of these people are doing. Right? Necromancy. You don't need to go into them things there. Because you have Yahushua, you have the Lord. And another thing these people do as well, what these people do, they use phones. So they'll be sending messages and making things up and trying to get you caught up. That's what they be doing. Right? A lot of witchcraft happens within society every single day. This stuff happens. Sometimes it's a bit more low-key. Sometimes it's more in your face. Right? Because that's how this kingdom gets running, through witchcraft, through deception. But once you see it, what do? You pray against it. You put on the armor of God, so you can stand against his wiles. And what's a wile? It's a trick. Witches, what do? They use tricks, manipulation, sorcery, right? That's how you maneuver against that. Okay? And it says, check this out. To the law and to the testimony, if they do not speak according to this word, it is because there is no light in them. So if it's not through the word, if there's no light in them. Okay? It's all witchcraft. And a lot of these people, they were wearing black today. Have you noticed they're wearing black? No, but they're also told what colours to wear. You're dealing with people that are part of the occult, which is another form of witchcraft. Right? Energy harvesting, satanic ritual abuse, the torturing of children, which still happens today. Big time, yes. This still happens today. That's the Satanists, that's the people in power that do that. That's how how do you think they harvest energy? Through pain, through torture, right? Adrenochrome, right? Speaking to someone about that yesterday. How these children go missing, man. How they go missing. And how a lot of them are tortured, then killed, then they drain the blood out of them. So my mum was telling me you can buy blood on Amazon. Literally can buy blood on Amazon. I don't know about that, but that's what he said, Brother Christian. It's crazy. You have to look that one up. Not sure about that one. But yeah, there's children as well. Right? And it's the elitists and on down that do these things. Where you got children going missing. Right? They're drinking their blood. It's called adrenochrome. It's very pricey, by the way. They pay for that. Adrenochrome, they pay for it. Old people. Right? To stay younger, right? Drinking blood. These are very real things. Because it talks about in the Apocrypha, these people, they have ceremonies. They have practice. They have ceremonies. Basically. What do you think they're doing in them ceremonies, man? Huh? These are rituals, man. These are rituals that they're doing to harness energy. That's how they get their power. Because if there's no rituals, if there's no sacrifice, Satan gets displeased and they get punished. Let's go to Proverbs. Let's go to Proverbs. This is why you have children getting abused and turning up missing. That's how they garnish their power. Proverbs 4 and 14. Do not enter into the path of the wicked. Don't go in their path. Don't do that. And do not walk in the way of evil men. Don't stay out of their way. Don't walk in their way. So you see, all right, there's evil there. I better go the other way now. Avoid it. Do not travel on it. Avoid it. Don't travel on that same path. Because we know that where they're going to be led to. Turn away from it. Pass on. For they do not sleep unless they have done evil. People, they can't sleep, see? Guys making bird noises again. They cannot sleep until they've done evil. They cannot sleep until they've done evil. These people are up nighttime, bro. Listen, morning from nighttime. Bro, but they can't sleep, they can't rest. Why? Because the demons are not letting them rest. This is how the kingdom of darkness operates, but we have the light. We shine light on the kingdom. We got the scriptures where light shine in the midst of a crooked and perverse generation. For they sleep not. Check this out. Their sleep is taken away. They have a lot of restless nights. Unless they make someone to fall. So they're one of these people that are literally on the side. Literally. On the side. Right? Like these four individuals in the basketball. Like these four individuals in the basketball. Yeah, remember their handler probably told them, go to the court, just in case he gets the ball. So there's assignments, brothers, there's real assignments. There's assignment, people, they're assigned to you, some of us. Right? For they have done evil, they cannot sleep unless they have done evil. So the demons say, no, I'm not letting you rest until you've done some type of evil to somebody. This way you have assignments, narcissism, right? The main thing, most narcissists, they're assigned to you. Freemasonry is assignments. You know that, right? Even with Freemasonry, you have assignments. You just saw that. You just saw that, right? The guy just made a bit of noise on his bike, turned around. That's all demonic. See, demonic stuff. People are controlled by spirits. Demonic spirits, man. The world is spiritual. Get closer to Yahweh Shai, so these spirits can't touch you, man. Get close to him. Guy's still making bird noises. And it's Baba Kishar. And his sleep is taken away unless they make someone to fall. In other words, destroy them. Yeah, there is spirits assigned to destroy brothers. Okay? And it says, Baba Kishar, for they eat the bread of wickedness. They're still eating that bread of wickedness. They're still eating what's the bread of money. Remember, they get gift cards, vouchers, gift cards, they get cars, they get free rent. Some of them get free rent. Right? They get moved into housing, they get free housing, but they have to stay in their house and watch someone. They get that it's free. Right? This is what they get. Free housing. This is what they get. Woman, they might get a woman if they're lucky. But it's based on the evil they do. So Satan ranks you based on what you do, the evil. That's what he ranks you upon. Now, Yahushua, guess what he ranks us upon? Righteous and your sufferings. That's how we get ranked. Through righteous and them sufferings, man. Satan, he ranks you by how much evil you do. That's why those that are into the paedophilia thing, well, how do you think they get in their ranking? That's how they get in their ranking. You're doing evil, or sleeping with another man, or eating shit, excuse my language, eating doo-doo cakes, right? That's how they get their ranking, right? That's why when you watch the latest about the celebrities and musicians, and what are you hearing? Most of them got bent over, right? Or they were doing something dark. Because that's, in order to get up in the, what do they call it, industry? That's what they're doing. In order to get up in the industry, that's what they're doing. That's why I don't like that word success. Success means you got to succeed. To succeed, you have to succeed. You don't want to have to do that. Because now they have it over your head. Now. Okay? And it says, and God's going to bring down every one of these satanic groups that are operating. Yahushua is going to bring every one of them down as well. All these satanic groups, man, that are operating in secret. They're all wearing black. They're all wearing black today. All wearing black. You know why they wear black? Because that's them trying to cast, it's called casting shadows. They're trying to cast shadows. So they figured if they can wear black, maybe that would keep us, a bit timid, a bit scared. Because black is an intimidating color, right? And same with red. Remember, these people have color codes as well. Remember, they're worshipping Satan. They do things in codes. I've told you. They sniff. Are they gone now? Are they gone? Yeah, they had to get up out of it. I think they're gone now. I think they're gone now, man, because you see, you got to stand your ground. Stand your ground. Right? So these people have color codes as well. I'm going to put you up on game. Let's go back to script. We'll put you up on game. Check this out. This is Proverbs 10 and 10. Right? 10 and 9. He who walks with integrity walks securely. So when you're walking about, you want to walk with integrity and securely. And it says, here comes the warlocks now. Here comes the witches and the warlocks. See, there's an order. There's a way they do certain stuff, but that can't affect us. But he who perverts his ways will become known. A lot of people, they have perverse ways. He who winks with the eye causes trouble. Remember, these people have a coding. They code each other. They have a code. These are the occults. They're dealing with the occult, witchcraft. They sniff. Remember the sniffing. They may sniff. They may rub their eyes. They rub the eye. They scratch their heads. Remember, because of the scratching head. They do all them things for scratching the head, right? And that's what they do, right? All them things they do, scratching the head, they cough, right? They spit, which means F you, right? This is how they communicate. Remember, demons communicate to each other. Like, you know why they do that? To see, well, who's one of us? Who's one of us? That's what they do. We don't do that type of stuff. We keep it 100. That's what we do. Keep it 100, man. Okay? Best way to overcome evil is to expose evil. The devil don't want you exposing evil. That's why he gets so erratic. We're 1 hour in. We're 1 hour in. Right? And it says, the mouth of the righteous is a well of life, but violence covers the mouth of the wicked. So you also hear what a lot of these people talk. It's wickedness. Right? But that's why we got to put you up on game. They're going to have color codes. Red. They like to wear red. Their favorite colors. Red, blue, and some black and white. They love the white as well. They all have meanings to these colors. All have meanings, man. But this was always happening. But you weren't wise. The colors they wear is the colors of their fraternities, man. Which we know Yahushua has taken out their fraternities. And we come out of agreement with every satanic doctrine, every satanic ritual, every satanic practice. We come out of agreement with that. It's more of an agreement with Yahushua. If any man's in me, he is a new man. Old things are passed away. All things have become new. It says that in Corinthians. All things have become new, including that mind of ours. Everything has to be renewed. Everything. Remember, familiar spirits, they operate on old patterns. You got the car now. I thought he was going to pull up. Look at the shot. Familiar spirits operate on old patterns, man. Old patterns. So guess what you got to do? You got to break them old patterns, man. And you got to be able to see it. You got to break the loop. Break old patterns. That's how familiar spirits. That's all they work upon. They're better than you being predictable. And patterns, man. Because if they can study patterns. And when they study patterns, guess what they do? They come right in. They come right in. That's what familiar spirits do. They study you. And they cause a lot of havoc within family structures. A lot. Here comes the occult now. Here comes the ex-army. That's what they do. Right? See what else we got. We're going to shut off soon. Because I kind of want to save the energy. We've got to preserve that. There's a lot of energy harvesting going on. There's a lot of satanic rituals, man. A lot of satanic ritual abuse. This happens every day. And this is how they garnish that energy, bro. Right? And the satanic ritual abuse, that's all MK Ultra. That's all done by military complex. And they sniff it up. That pain, that hurt, they sniff it up. We're living in a very evil world. But we've got, you hear that as well. Real demonic out here, bro. Proper real demonic out here. That's why you gotta be firm in this. You gotta be firm in this word. And another thing, and not so easily shaken by what's happening around you. These are familiar spirits, brothers. And they were in your family line. But that's why you gotta break all that stuff. You gotta break it off yourself. And become a new man in Yahushua Mashiach. In the fullness. You see what else we got? We're gonna shut off soon. And know how to use this word, know how to apply it. John 7:6. Then Yahushua said to them, my time has not yet come, but your time is already, always ready. The world cannot hate you, but it hates me because I testify of it. That its works are evil. You go up to the feast. I am not yet going up to the feast, for my time has not yet fully come. So he testified that this word was evil. Right? Testify it. Because this word is evil. And it pushes evil. Then when you speak up against the evil, guess what? The demons come out. The demons come out to play. And they're like, shut up, don't speak about that. No, we're going to speak what Yahushua wants us to speak. Right? You got demons that come out here, they get active. Right, what's he speaking about? I hope he's not mentioning this. I hope he's not... We speak what Yahushua wants us to speak. Jeremiah says, speak my words unto them. My words. Not their words. So that's what we do. Okay? So I'm going to shut off here. Lord willing, this was edifying. And on to the next one. Shalom to the hopeful elect. And stay faithful in Yahushua. And don't let these people throw you off. Don't let these people throw you off your path and your mission and your purpose. They're bots, basically. They're bots. And they're demonically possessed. And one may say, well, do you think that's fair to say that? Is that fair? Yet they're demonically possessed. That's the truth of the matter. They're demonically possessed. And that's the truth of the matter. Right? That is the truth of the matter. They are demonically possessed. Okay? And that's why we got to be in the word as much as possible. To fend off them spirits that are trying to infiltrate your mind. Because that's what they try to do. They try to infiltrate your mind. Hope this was edifying. And until the next time, shalom to the hopeful elect. Shalom.